continues next week. I can't believe what we have witnessed. Montez out of the shotgun. Turns, hands out Philip Lindsay. He's got the hole. He's got the end zone. Oh, Philip would not be denied that time as he drags the defender. Demetrius Flanagan fouls into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. 11 yards out. What a night by Lindsay. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Gary Barnett joining us as well. I'm not sure what to say about this one. It was like a video game on Saturday night as the Buffaloes fall to the Arizona Wildcats 45-42 over 1,100 yards of offense in this one. I didn't see this coming on either side of the ball, to be quite honest with you. Did you?
I sort of thought offensively we were going to be in good shape. I did see this as a shootout. I didn't see it this way. I didn't see us not being able to tackle one of their players. And you know, if the field had been 200 yards long, he would have had an additional 600 yards rushing because, you know what, the only thing that stopped him was the fact that he went into the end zone, and that's where you're supposed to stop. So he had an amazing game. He was an amazing player tonight. We had shoddy defense, there's no question about it, but I've never seen a game where one player dominated a game at the quarterback position, running the football the way this guy is. I've been around a while, but I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Khalil Tate was special. I mean, he had 327 yards rushing and 14 carries, 4 touchdowns. By the way, that's an FBS NCAA record for a quarterback. And Gary joked during our postgame of the radio, he said maybe the biggest play of the game, biggest mistake the Buffs made was knocking Brandon Dawkins out in the first drive, because if not, Tate wouldn't have been in that ballgame.
There's no question. Dawkins couldn't do that to it. I mean, we would have missed tackles probably, but he couldn't have done what this guy did. So Khalil Tate was amazing tonight, and you know, we paid the price for it.
Let's talk about a positive in this one. The Buffaloes did rush for 300 yards. Philip Lindsay had a C record, 41 carries, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns. That offensive line played its best game of the season, hands down.
It did, and it played against a team that has been playing better defense than it has in the past. So a lot of credit. We had Steven Montez had time to throw. He could step and throw the ball, but more than anything else is that their ability to rush the football. I thought, for the most part, play callers called a really good football game on offense, and there was some creativity and some plays called when they had to be called just the right way. And you know, Mike said earlier that after they figured out they couldn't stop this guy, they were going to go for it on every fourth down, no matter what. And we saw a lot of that.
In fourth down territory, no matter where they were in the field. Philip Lindsay, like we mentioned, had a huge game. 41 carries, 281 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's a guy that loves to interact with the fans. In fact, he hooked up with this young fan before the game.
It was good because I've been wanting to see him. He's my favorite player because he run hard and he play good and fast. I want to see him score 5 touchdowns. It made me feel happy because I get to be on one of the best fields. I love Buffs because my Uncle Hagen played for him. My favorite part of the game is when kickoff, because that's the first play and I get to see what they working about.
That's the kind of guy Philip Lindsay is, playing around with a little kid before the ball game tonight. Buffaloes fall 45-42 to the Arizona Wildcats. We continue with Gary Barnett. The defensive performance, or lack thereof, in this ball game. Certainly Khalil Tate was phenomenal. He was electrifying on the field. Did we see a performance by a great player, or were some things exposed in the Colorado defense in this game?
Well, I think a little bit of both, Mark, unfortunately. And we hadn't been a great tackling team and prior to this game, but we've been able to you know, hold our own for the most part. But we haven't played anybody like this.
Right.
We haven't played a running back or a quarterback who could run and make you miss the way Khalil Tate could do. And Mike said that Coach McIntyre said they knew about him, but he's been hurt and hadn't played. And so guess what? He got to play.
Yes, he did. And he made his mark. So the Buffaloes are 0-3 in Pac-12 conference play. This is a delicate position right now for this football team, sitting at 3-3 overall. How do you handle this as a coach now moving forward?
Well, you handle it. It's your team and it's your defense and it's your guys, and you know, some of them are damaged right now, not physically, and you've got to understand that, and you've got to, you know, you need to get this team ready. and this team needs to get itself ready to play the next game. And you preach it and you talk about it, but now you have to be a living example of it as a coach, and leadership has to do the same thing. And you know, it just makes this next game a must-win situation for CU. If they have designs on being in a bowl game, they have to go win this game.
Yeah, Buffaloes next week are on the road in Corvallis. In fact, it's the first of 2 consecutive road games. They're at Oregon State next week. Following week, got to be on the road against Washington State. Stay with us here in the Stampede. When we come back, we're going to connect with one of the greats in Colorado history, 1996 Butkus Award winner Matt Russell joins us next. Welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede. Always great to see Colorado alums, great football players, back to watch the Buffaloes as they were against the Arizona Wildcats. In fact, at the game was Matt Russell, great linebacker for the Buffaloes. We caught up with him before the contest. What a treat here. They just don't give away the Butkus Award, by the way. 2 guys in Colorado have won it. Alfred Williams in '90. This guy right here in 1996, Matt Russell. Good to see you. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Excited to be home for a game.
Yeah, you get a chance. I know you're busy with the Broncos with all the evaluating you do with college players, but you get a chance to keep an eye on the Buffs.
I'll peep at them a little bit. I'm here as a fan, but I'll cheat and take a peek at them. But yeah, I'm here to see these guys win and get a Pac-12 victory. All right, give us your best CU memory from when you played back in the '90s. Oh, well, I think it's probably pretty easy to say that it wasn't on this field. It was in Michigan when we threw the Hail Mary, and that was probably the biggest win when I was here. And I keep telling people it's probably one of the all-time greatest finishes in college football.
Oh, without question. It's got to be top 5 at least, maybe top 2 or 3, to be honest with you. You know, that award you won, that Butkus Award, as that year was unfolding, I mean, you knew you were a very good player, obviously. Did you have a sense that maybe that was coming? David Platty probably had something to do with that.
Right. I think David did a great job of kind of marketing that. We had good teams, and we had good teams. We prided ourselves on defense, and there were a lot of great players on that defense. And I know it sounds real cliche, but really they give those awards out to winning teams. You don't win those if you're on a 3-8 team. We had a great football team, and I was fortunate enough to get that award. And it is cool. It's something that I really treasure and value. I think it's pretty cool.
You know, it's awful cool. You've been down the hallway where all the awards, the Heisman and the Butkus and all those are sitting out there. You've seen that area.
I have seen that, and I think it's really good for these incoming freshmen to see that this place has a lot of tradition. You know, there've been a lot of great players here, a lot of great football played on this field, and they're getting back to that, and it's fun to see Coach McIntyre doing what he's doing because he's doing a heck of a job.
How about the facilities? I mean, behind the cameras, the Champions Center up there. Can you believe what this place looks like?
It's beautiful, and it's something that I know that we as former players take a lot of pride in. You know, it's something that we kind of wish we had when we were here, but times have changed, and you need to have this, and you need to have these kind of facilities to compete in college football, and to have this here in Boulder with these mountains. I mean, it's a tremendous place for kids to come to school.
Matt, they don't have to run up the hill anymore, huh? That was a rite of passage for you guys.
I know, that's exactly right. I don't know what they do anymore. I mean, they got to figure something else out, but they don't have the hill anymore. So you're right.
Who on this CU team kind of catches your eye when you're evaluating talent around the country?
Well, I think you can make a case for a guy like Philip Lindsay. There's some offensive linemen that are intriguing. There's more and more good players here, and you can see that coming up. You can see some young guys coming up through the ranks as well, and that wasn't the case for a lot of years here. And so it's fun to see these guys that have a legitimate shot at playing at the next level.
It's good to see the Buffs in this program kind of back where it's supposed to be, isn't it?
It is. It's great to see. I mean, there were some painful years there for all of us, and it wasn't because the kids weren't trying, but it was rough years, and every program goes through that at some point or the other, and it's good to see us kind of coming out the backside of that and starting to win some games here and compete.
You enjoying your time with the Broncos, what you're doing, kind of evaluating and scouting?
I am. I love it. It's something that I was kind of always a hobby for me as a player. And in high school, middle school, I used to always kind of look around at the top high school kids of the country. And so doing what I'm doing now, it's not really work. It's fun.
You know, I think a lot of maybe Buff fans don't realize Jordan Dizon's working with you as well over there doing some scouting.
That is right. So we hired Jordan a few years ago. He's young, he's smart, passionate guy. He knows the game, and he does a tremendous job for us. And certainly trust him. He's a Buff.
And the smartest guys are always linebackers, aren't they?
Of course they are, yeah. We took the less shots in the head, right?
Man, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Mark.
All right, Matt Russell, 1996. He won the Butkus Award. Good to catch up with one of the greats in Colorado history, linebacker Matt Russell. Stay with us here at the Stampede. Jocelyn Hayes is going to join us next, the CU volleyball team.
Wake Forest long. He'll try to break down, and there's the block Hayes has been looking for. She's been in her face all set so much.
We continue with the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, talking a little volleyball. Last time the Buffs were here in their home court, had a big win over a top 15 team in Oregon. Redshirt senior Jocelyn Hayes joining us for a couple of minutes. Let's go back to that one. I know you had a couple since then on the road, but that was an awful nice win over the Ducks.
Yeah, it was super nice. We love duck hunting.
What went well in that match for the Buffaloes?
Mostly everything. We had a great defense going on. Our block setup was perfect, and I think that's what really helped contribute to our defense, because our defense behind us knew exactly what they were supposed to be doing. Our serve receive was really well. Our offense went really well. I think that every single player just did their job, and it's amazing what happens when people do their job.
Isn't that stunning, huh? When you do what you're supposed to do, everything seems to go very, very well. Well, outstanding. So an awful nice win for the Buffaloes over the Ducks now about a week and a half ago or so. Then you go on the road to the Washington schools, and things didn't go well. You lose on Friday to Washington State, and then on Sunday to a top 10 team at Washington.
Yeah, that was rough. I think that ultimately we did a lot of good things, but in crucial times we didn't do what we were supposed to be doing. So I think we struggled with some fundamentals, serve receive. Our blocking setup weren't so great again, so that kind of, faltered.
Early on in the match against number 9 Washington, you had a chance in both the first and second set. Didn't get quite the start you wanted, though, to kind of take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think in those first 2 sets, the thing with volleyball is that it's not the last point that does it. I mean, just like in any sport, it's not the last couple points that lose the game. It's all the points behind you, and that was, I think, what really got us in the beginning. We missed some crucial plays that, some really simple plays that would have put us up in a good position to win, but we didn't capitalize.
Joss had 8 kills and a couple of blocks, in fact, in the loss to the Huskies. All season long, it is the 50th anniversary of the Ralphie program, and she's been doing a great job running this season and during the Colorado football games. Doesn't run during volleyball. It'll be a little tough here in the Coors Event Center, but we're checking in with the Ralphie handlers this week on this 50th anniversary.
The Ralphie program, it's really centered around a family tradition. A lot of time spent with really good people. Playing sports in high school, I really wanted a good team environment, and I got exactly that. It's a great college experience and everything I could have asked for. A lot of people don't know how much time we really spend together. We're together daily, and these people are just great people. We come from different backgrounds. We all have different stories, and it's great to just come together, do one thing, get one goal done, and it's truly special to be on this team. Well, Ralphie really serves as a sense of unity for the whole university, Boulder in general. It's so cool to be around her and see people interact with her and see just how happy she makes people, little kids, families. It's truly an adrenaline rush watching her run across the field twice a game. We train all week because we know how special those brief moments with her out on the field, wherever you are, whether I'm running her or just watching my teammates run her. It's just such a cool thing to see all the work go into, and when we get it down to perfection, it's truly special. And on top of just being an athlete, you're also representing the university, and we're aware of that. We love interacting with the Boulder community and representing this school and how great it is and how special the community is within it.
Yeah, one of the great mascots in college. Well, the great mascot in college athletics, for goodness sakes, Ralphie. I mean, she doesn't get to run for you guys, but you appreciate Ralphie.
We get Chip hanging out. He's cool.
Without question. I would think as a fifth-year senior, maybe you should have a chance to run with Ralphie for one of those football games.
Oh, my gosh. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. I don't know if I'd be able to keep up, but I just drag behind her.
That's right. But, the 50th anniversary going on with the Ralphie program here at the University of Colorado. We continue talking volleyball. Jocelyn Hayes joining us on the road now again this week. So 2 consecutive weeks you're on the road. Now you head down to the Arizona schools, Arizona State on Friday and then Sunday in Tucson against Arizona. Give us a couple of keys. What do you think the Buffs need to improve upon this weekend?
I think that we ultimately are, when we play really well, we play really well. We know what we're supposed to be doing, and I think as long as we capitalize on what we're supposed to be doing, we will have no problem with these teams. They're both really good teams, but I think we have really good matchups with Arizona and Arizona State.
Well, last year the Buffaloes got up to a great start and kind of tailed off as a season. How do you make sure that doesn't happen here in this campaign?
Continue to capitalize on momentumous, is that even a word?
It is for this show.
It is. Momentumous opportunities. Capitalize. So you become a fifth year and you write your own dictionary.
That's right. You can do that as a fifth year senior.
It's a great time.
Last year you were a little dinged up. Are you feeling healthy this season?
I am, yeah. Knock on some wood. I do feel good right now, and Marissa is doing really she's working really hard to keep us all healthy, and so. Yeah.
All right. Well, the next time you get a chance to see the Buffs at home after this weekend down at the Arizona schools, then you got the LA schools, UCLA and USC coming to town.
Yes.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
We'll keep making words up. We'll have you back on the show.
Momentum is the first one.
Jocelyn Hayes for the CU volleyball team at Arizona State, Arizona this weekend. Coming up next, it's not basketball season yet, but the guys are practicing. Evan Batty, the big freshman, will join us next. Up top right, head fake, strives down the lane, elevates for the jam! Right over the top of Johnson! Holy cow!
Wow, one of the best dunks of the year.
And Derek White has just lit this place on fire. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Buffalo Stampede. I'm the voice of the bus, Mark Johnson. Talk a little basketball. Big fella, Evan Batty joining us, freshman out of the LA area. A couple of weeks into practice. How things going for you so far?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Our team is really bonding. The team is really gelling. Defensively, we're still got a long way to go, but we've come a long way. We've come a long way.
It's always a big jump, though, for a freshman when you get here. Really, the level of play is a lot higher. The intensity is a lot higher than was back in high school. So how's that been for you? You starting to get the sense, you get your feet underneath you?
Right. It's just there's just things that wouldn't be there if I was playing high school. We wouldn't be getting to the lane as easy.
Sure.
I mean, the difficulty is higher up for sure.
Yeah. More physical game have you found at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, is Torrey beating up on you?
We're beating up on each other, but it's more physical. It's more physical indeed.
Well, without question. Does it take a while to kind of build chemistry with all the new guys in this team? The freshmen have come in. You got guys like Naaman who weren't playing a year ago. It still takes a while to build a little chemistry, doesn't it?
I mean, it didn't take that long for us to build chemistry. I mean, we all hang out, spend time together, a lot of time together. So, I mean, we didn't take that long to gel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would imagine that trip to Italy probably helped a little bit in that regard.
It helped a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. We're getting to know the foreign customs and the foreign traditions just together. It really helped a lot.
Did you learn to speak Italian, by the way? You weren't there.
I tried, but I didn't really buy into it.
What was the best part of the trip?
Just to bond with my teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had you ever been overseas at all?
No.
No, you had not.
No.
So from a cultural standpoint, it's kind of an educational trip as well.
Yeah, it's very educational indeed.
Yeah. What was the best sight that you saw, do you think? I mean, you saw museums and you saw all kinds of things. Yeah.
The Coliseum, for sure.
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, the Coliseum.
And the history of the Coliseum is really kind of neat.
The history is amazing.
When you think of Coliseum, you think of gladiators. And by the way, in recent years, the Buffs have done some great training with Navy SEALs, and they did it again in 2017.
That was, I haven't done this since freshman year, so it was kind of like, I thought I knew what we was getting into, but when you do it the second time, it's like something new every time, so I didn't know what to expect. Taught you how to pay attention to detail. Coach talks about attention to detail all the time, but with them, if you even said like the wrong phrase word during a drill or a mission, then you had to start all over again. And he always starts out with 16 minutes, there one more to do something. But we had to do that 16 minutes about 10 times the first day. And then the second day we got it together. We started to pay attention to detail, we communicated well. I think that's translated thus far to the court. Different skills, I guess they talked a lot about communication and how they communicate. It's one thing to just talk, it's another thing to talk with a purpose. And I think I've learned that the most. That's my biggest thing I took from that. So now when I'm like out there talking, say name, command, volume, I think that's what they said out there, how they do in the field. So now I'm like, dom, left screen, or where it used to be like screen left, just general statements. So I think that helps a lot with the guards and just us communicating shit in general.
Here's the thing. Some of the teammates, they don't want to go underwater.
Mentally, I think it was a lot more mentally hard because you had to do things that you were just not comfortable doing. Like Dom couldn't swim, so we had to go to the pool at like 5 a.m. and we all had to kind of like take Dom under our wing or take Dale or take the people that couldn't swim under our wing when they had to tread water. And I think their mission was to make it think like we were all going to drown in a 12-foot pool. Realistically, it's probably not going to happen, but they made it seem like we were all going to drown. So
I think little stuff like that mentally just messes with you, especially if you're tired already. You went to bed at 11, you got to wake up at 4 to get there at 5. You guys swim in the pool for 3 hours straight in water. So I think the mental part was a lot more harder than the physical part. Oh, I appreciate it a ton. Appreciate it a ton. My brother's in the military, so I already appreciate those guys like prior to that. So I have a whole new respect for what they did, though, especially during the second year around.
Well, there was nothing easy about that training for the Colorado basketball team. It was about a week and a half ago that they went through that training with the Navy SEALs. How was that for you?
It was definitely hard, but it established our togetherness, and we had to prove our togetherness. Mm-hmm. We had to prove that we are really one family, and we sure did that.
Take us through some of the stuff they did. I mean, it must have surprised you, some of the things they put you through. But what kind of challenges were they giving you guys?
We had to swim with a jacket on, and there's some guys on the team that can't swim, so we had to help each other out and trust each other. We trust each other immensely, and we just had to pull it through.
Did it give you a new appreciation, maybe, for what those men and women who are SEALs do in terms of the strenuousness of what they go through?
Right. I'm glad these guys are defending our country.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So next time, so you're doing some lines out here, you're running a little bit, and Coach is getting on you. I want you to remember that maybe it's not so bad compared to what those guys are going through.
Not so bad. Nothing to complain about.
What was the major message that you take away from that, do you think? The teamwork aspect of things?
Yeah, when pain settles in, we focus on our teammates.
Okay.
It's the most important message I got from that weekend.
I would have to think as well. When we talk about team sports, there's a trust that has to be there for your teammate. Right. You make a pass, you're trusting that guy is going to make the play that you need him to make, correct? Right. Is that kind of what they were talking to you about maybe a little bit?
Right. It goes hand in hand. Yeah. It really goes hand in hand. Transitions over.
All right. Did you guys talk much about it afterward as a team a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we took the principles that the Navy SEALs gave to us and incorporated on the floor, and it's been great ever since.
Certainly a challenge for the Colorado Buffaloes as they go through that Navy SEAL training. They're about 3 weeks away from getting their season underway as we put a wrap on the Buffalo Stampede this week. I'm Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. We'll talk to you next time.